So card number 2 uses these banners, okay, and it also uses one of these little white cards here, okay. Basically, I'm going to just take one of these. You pop these out, these little banners, and banners are really easy to make. So if you've got any sort of patterned paper or stamped card, it's very easy to create a banner shape, because all you're doing is measuring where the midpoint is. So let's just do a little, I'll grab a scrap and I can show you how you can just very simply do that. Just roughly, so you can see. You had a strip of card like this, and you wanted to create a banner from it. You basically just want to find the midpoint at the bottom. So pencil just so I can show you. So obviously the halfway mark is going to be about there. And what I would do is kind of go up probably about 1/4 of an inch and just do a little dot. I'm doing it quite heavy so that you can see. And then I would cut from one diagonal across to that dot. And then on the opposite side, I would cut from the other diagonal across. And then you've created your banner end. Okay, and obviously if you measure it nicely and make your tab a nice even number, so like if it's 1 inch wide, then you would do a 1/2 inch mark. If it was 2 inches wide, you would do your mark at 1 inch, so that you're always exactly at dead center. Not that it matters, because that would still look nice stamped on a card like that. Okay, so that's just a simple way that if you have any nice patterned card or pattern paper and you want to create a banner, it's not something that is too difficult to do. Okay, so this card shows it, they've got 4 strips, and then we're going to stamp on the circle and add some butterflies. And as I said, I'm not going to use 4 strips because I think 4 strips is too busy. So I'm going to have a look at just using 3 strips. So I am, because I just like the idea that there's a nice border around my patterns. And just so you know, you don't actually, you can stagger these, you know, if you wanted to, you could have them mixed. They don't have to be all nicely even, because I know on here, I think they are they staggered? Oh no, they have staggered them a little bit. So the original is basically having 1 lower, 1 further up, and then 1 lower. Well, if I do it exactly like they have, they've got 1 lower, 1 up at the top, 1 lowered, and 1 up at the bottom, 1 like that. And the white is completely covered actually. Practically, there's just a tiny, tiny bit of white showing. So it's kind of like that. Okay. That's how they've done it on theirs. But as I say, I just think it's a little bit busy. So what you could do is you could leave the white card the size that it is and still have 1 up, 1 down. So still stagger them. Okay, like that. Or you can have them all at the same distance. And then we can come in with our circle, and we can either have our circle at the side, at the middle. But because I just think that I want to use these little strips to extend my kit, I am only going to use 3. But please, if you want to make the card exactly as it is on this picture, then obviously that's absolutely fine too. You'll just be sticking 1 strip slightly off the card, then 1 strip going up, then the next one going down, and then this one going slightly off the card. Okay, but as I say, I'm going to extend my kit. So I'm going to keep the white card the same size, and I'll just glue that straight down. So this is definitely a card that you could recreate very, very easily with all of your stash that you currently have. Okay, so it's because it is literally just a card base and some strips of patterned paper and a white square. That is all that this card is made of. So it would be very, very easy to recreate. So pop that down. And obviously, I know I've stuck it now, but I was going to say you could obviously stamp the white bit as well. Might do that on the next one actually then. So there we are. We've got that glued down there nicely. And the reason why I'm not making it exactly the same is because I do, as I say, want to save one of the banners. Because I would like to make another card with the banners. And I'll show you that card so that you can recreate it as well. So just choose 3 banners that you like the look of, and I like having 2 of the darker ones and then the multicolored one. And I'm going to glue 2 flat, and then one I'm going to raise up, and that'll be the one that I'm going to be positioning my circle on. So the 2 outer ones I'm going to just have as flat. And don't forget, you can obviously use your little glue dots to stick these down. I know I'm using glue dots just because I've got it on my table. Just move that out of the way, I don't want to get that. And I'm just going to have a border. Okay, and then that one I'm going to do, and then that one. Okay, and this one I'm going to use the little foam pads, and I'm going to raise it. So just stick a couple of those on there. And just to say, you'll end up with loads of sort of like an edge going all the way around with this foam on these foam pads. You can just cut that up and use it. Don't throw it away, because all that bit on the edge will still be usable to put under different things. So just to say, never waste anything. I suppose that's crafting for you, isn't it? You never throw anything away. You never let anything go to waste. Just pop that down. And slightly forward. I should have put the middle one on first, shouldn't I? Learn by it. That's what I usually do. Do the middle one. I'm going to stick this one on, and then I'll put the middle one in, because I'll be able to gauge the space then. So I'm going to do the 2 outer ones, and then I'll do the inside one. And I'm just going to reverse this so that you've got orange at the top and the purple at the bottom, rather than the purple and the orange, just so that it gives a little bit of difference. And now I can come in, and then I can gauge exactly where that one needs to go. Perfect. And that one's raised on the foam pads. Slightly skew there. Move that around a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that one's raised, just the middle one. And then we're going to stamp now on our little circle. And it's just a note of hope. So grab the stamp set. And get my little blocks out. So we're going to just pop this down. Got my circle there. Just a note of hope. Get my little ink spot. Now we might have to, you don't always have to condition a stamp, it depends. This one looks like it's actually taken the ink a lot better than the other one. Let's just test it up here. and see what it looks like. A little bit blotchy. There's no harm in just getting my pencil rubber again. I'm just going over this one. As I say, it doesn't happen with every stamp set, and it can just, and I suppose it just depends on the manufacturing process. I'll just give that a wipe. Let's see how that works this time. Yeah, that's taking it a lot better now, isn't it? Okay. So I've got 2 chances with a circle anyway, so we'll go in, and there's just a little bit of like a sprue mark there, so just come in with this, try and get it nice and straight, and in the middle, can't always guarantee. And I suppose actually thinking about it, where we gutted that blue card, you could actually gut a bigger circle to layer this on, so it's not just going on as a white circle. You could cut a punch out or die cut a circle that would layer on. So if I just find that little tab that I cut out earlier. Where's that tab? Got it. So you could just imagine if that was, you know, blue. Actually, that looks quite nice anyway. So you could have that there layered onto something else. But I'm just thinking that if I'd have used that, I could have actually punched out a circle to layer this onto. But it's fine. Let's have a look. And there's no problem if you wanted to go around the outside and just ink that up a little bit. So I could just come in and just come around the edge with that ink spot and just ink it up. That just will help it pop a little bit better. There we are. Okay, so it's just a little addition that you can do. And just check where I'm supposed to be here. So then I think I'm going to just put mine in the middle like this. Okay. So, and I'll just talk about, and I'm going to stick it flat just because this is already raised. I'm just going to stick that flat. So I'm just going to talk about what size these strips are. So it's a standard C6 card base. So that would be, you'd cut your card to 8 by 5 3/4. I know these are slightly smaller because they're US size, they're 5 1/2. But our normal one would be 8 by 5 3/4, score in the middle at 4, fold the card in half. And then this little layer here is 3 by 3 3/4, and then your little strips are basically 3 1/2 by 3/4 of an inch. So 3 1/2 by 3/4 of an inch, and then we've just bannered them. So if you wanted to do a card similar to this, that would be your measurements for that. Okay. And then I'm going to pop 2 butterflies on. So we've got the nice little pop-out butterflies here. And actually, they'll definitely be using the glue dots for those because, and I actually think I'm going to go with the yellowy one because, just because of the colors, I think the yellow is going to pop out more. So the blue and the yellow, maybe even, because I don't know what, let's have a look. purpley one. Well, I'll just have a look. I'll think. You've got 4 choices anyway of the colours that you can use. So I'm going to just grab my little glue dots, grab my pokey tool, and I'm just going to shape it just gently because these are quite delicate. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of shape with my handles of my scissors as usual. Even though I've got a whole collection of bone folders, I still always resort back to using the handle of my scissors. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm just going to pick up, that's just going to be one little glue dot on there. And then I'll do the same on the other one little glue dot on there. And then just position that on the card. So that is definitely a card that you could replicate. I don't actually like the idea of just putting one up there. Just put one there. Like that. And stay on. Yeah, just checking. I don't know if I want another one, you know. Do I want another one there maybe? Oh, maybe I do actually. I'll stick one on the bottom. One on, pop one there. Because I think they show up nicer there. And then once again, I'll go and get me sparkly, the lovely little sequins. So just grab, and I think the sort of silvery one looks lovely on the kind of Bermuda Bay colour. And then there's a goldy one that I can put on that. That's really pretty actually, and that is definitely a card that you could make yourself just using pattern papers.